Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. Well, the Limmings are back. The mindless followers of Yunchan Lim, the excellent young piano virtuoso whose new recording of Tchaikovsky's The Seasons got a mixed review from me. It wasn't a pan. It was well, as some of you pointed out, a really rather balanced review because there was beautiful stuff in it and some kind of exaggerated and less interesting stuff in it. It was also not very good value for money because the piece is only 44 minutes long. But, everybody had their shtick. And there are two kinds of criticisms leveled at the critic, which I just love talking about because it raises the whole issue of what is criticism? What is the point of it? And what are we doing here? And what am I doing here? And what is Lim doing? And yeah, it's all there. The most entertaining of all of the criticisms for me were the people who called me a bigot because he's Korean. And I supposedly have a thing against people who are Korean. Now, I would, ordinarily respond to that. Well, I wouldn't respond to it at all. I would just say, like, some of my best friends are Korean, or something like that. But no. It's a stupid criticism, of course, because I just call it as I hear it. But more than that, it struck me as particularly funny because I'm on kind of a Korean binge. Not with musicians. Musicians are a dime a dozen. Who cares about musicians? But with food. Of course with food. I love Korean food. I'm really getting into Korean food, cooking it myself. There's this fantastic cookbook that just came out called Uma, A Korean Mom's Kitchen Wisdom with 100 family recipes. And it's by Sarah Ahn, who's wonderful personality. She works for America's Test Kitchen and whatnot. And this is a stupendous cookbook. If you're interested in Korean cooking, I really, really recommend that you get this book. It has not only a zillion kimchi recipes, and kimchi is, I buy it. I'm not making it myself, but I keep wanting to think about making it. Let's put it that way. And there is a recipe in here for kimchi that does not involve taking an enormous Napa cabbage and pulling each leaf apart simultaneously and stuffing all that, slop into them and then folding them back up and, burying them in your backyard. It's you chop up the cabbage. It's a cut up kimchi recipe, which is like, yes, oh God, thank you. It's so much easier. So I may try that one someday. I may, but you can get very good kimchi in the store, and there are several excellent Asian groceries around here, so I don't worry about that too much. But this is a wonderful cookbook, and just so you know, I have my gochujang paste. Can't have too much of this. I throw it in everything. It makes a fabulous addition to like marinades for like steak and meat and things like that. And I have my gochujang sauce, which is like Korean ketchup. It's just fabulous on burgers and hot dogs and things like that. It's spicy and tasty. It's one of the most amazing condiments in the entire known universe. So that's really good. And I've got my gochugaru. Isn't that what this stuff is? The Korean red pepper flakes. And I have my frozen Korean rice cakes so I can make tteokbokki. Tteokbokki is marvelous if you've never had it. I need to get some fish cakes actually to add to it as well. But oh my God, is that wonderful. So, the whole I'm a Korean bigot thing I think is really amusing. But that's not the main issue. It's not the main issue because now since the last round, about his Rachmaninoff third piano concerto, I've weeded out a lot of the wackier, insane people. And so I don't hear from them anymore, which is fine. Now there's a more thoughtful, the thoughtful brand of Limming. And they have comments such as this. They're all along the same line. So here is the let's see if I can, here we go. Yes, of course. It is always preferable to start in excess and trim according to one's growing vision than to start dull and try to pick things up along the way. The way Lim narrates the pieces is closer to authentic tradition, but it takes years to ripen. Yeah, so he's like a kimchi. He's fermenting. He's ripening. That's such a generic and foolish remark. I mean, it's true of everybody, isn't it? I mean, who cares? Really? Who cares? Okay, fine, he's ripening. Stuff him in a jar, bury him in your backyard, dig him up in 5 years, and see what pops up. There you go. We're in business. I mean, these people try and be thoughtful and measured, and then what they say is so generic and stupid. Of course he's young. Of course he's ripening. Artists are always doing that through their whole careers. Critics do it too. We all ripen. We're all fermenting and ripening and, sitting out in the sun, gaining a rosy glow of maturity. And gosh, that's just such generic twaddle. It really is. That isn't the point. Let me explain to you, Limmings, what the point is. The point is that the boy or man or whatever he is at this stage in his life issued this, a recording of Tchaikovsky's The Seasons. As a consumer and a music lover, you have an opportunity to either get that or to get a bazillion other recordings of the seasons or bits of the seasons by the likes of Ashkenazy and Richter and Pletnev and, and many, many, many other pianists who have done the work. And they've done it very, very well because it's not a very difficult work. There's nothing particularly challenging or elusive or deep or anything. It's salon music. It's lovely salon music, but that's what it is. So knowing that, the question then becomes, which version should my viewership, not you Limmings, my viewership buy? If you want to get the seasons, and this is the one that's getting promoted, and everyone's jabbering about it, and his fan club is screaming about how everything he does is the greatest thing ever, or it's wonderful because he's young and ripening, and you get to listen to him ripen. I mean, the point is, where is your money best spent? If you don't know Tchaikovsky's The Seasons, or if you do know it and you're looking for the best versions of it, should you get that one or should you get another one? And the fact that I may recommend another one makes these people go crazy. They think, well, that doesn't mean it's illegitimate for him to record it. Of course it's not. If Decca thinks it's going to make money releasing this, then fine. Let them have at it. And let all of his fans grab it because they're following him. But here's the point. This is the point that I just want to make, and I just think it's just so important. It's not about listening to Lim ripen. No one cares about Lim ripening except his Limmings. Yes, he's going to mature. Oh, boy. Who is going to build a record collection, the high point of which is that you get to hear an artist mature from callow youth to sage eminence grise. Assuming that's what happens. He could just crash and burn like so many of these people do. We don't know what's going to happen. We have no clue what's going to happen. And yes, he's on a journey of artistic questing maturation. Lovely. That's just lovely. But that's not why you get Tchaikovsky's The Seasons. You get Tchaikovsky's The Seasons because you love Tchaikovsky, you love the seasons, you love Tchaikovsky doing the seasons, you want the best version of Tchaikovsky's The Seasons, and whether you can hear an artist mature along the way, which you can't hear, by the way, unless you tune in 20 years from now, like I said, dig him up from his backyard and see if the kimchi is fermented. It is absolutely ridiculous. But what all of these people have in common, whether they are the crazy kookies who are accusing me of bigotry or the more thoughtful observers of the artistic journey, one or the other, they are valuing the performer over the music. And that is something I will never do. I don't do it. I won't do it. I'm opposed to it. I think it's horrible. I'm not interested. If they're interested, that's fine. But don't come after me because I don't share your infatuation with the ability to perceive the journey of the artist along the path to nirvana, assuming that's the path he takes. It's so ridiculous. It really is. But for people who care about music and people who care about value for their dollar and who care about finding the best recordings or having an opportunity to sample and compare the best recordings, that's what I'm all about. And it will never, ever, ever appeal to or gain the sanction of those who only care about the personality of the player. So I just want to make that point because it's coming up. It's going to come up. And I also think that Lim is a wonderful exemplar of this process and of the relationship between the artist and the public and the purpose of recordings and their reception and promotion. All of those issues are there in these recordings. So it's fun to follow him and see what the reaction is going to be. I hasten to add just one other signal issue, which really always concerns me, and that's that recordings are a consumer commodity. They are. He's being commodified, and the same people who are thoughtfully following his journey, his vision, whatever the hell it is, are the first to scream about and decry the commodification of music, particularly classical music, and the consumer society and all that stuff. It is precisely the commodification of music that is allowing you to follow him for good or ill. And it's his wholehearted participation in this process. So let's not be hypocrites and move the entire discussion into this rarefied atmosphere of artistry and vision and all of that falderall. It's ridiculous. It's hypocritical. These are consumer products to be compared with other consumer products. You can choose brand X for your drain cleaner or brand Y for your drain cleaner. And the only difference is going to be price and the one that opens your drain most effectively. And it's the same thing with Lim's recording of Tchaikovsky's The Seasons. So if you want to follow his artistic voyage, get journey and whatever the hell it is, knock yourself out. But don't cast aspersions on those who care far more about Tchaikovsky and great Tchaikovsky playing and the options in recordings of Tchaikovsky's The Seasons than who care about watching this kid ripen. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.